Cece Sparrow had always hit the right notes. As a famous singer and songwriter, it was her job to tap into emotion, translate it into words, and let the sound flow. Her smoky vocals dug deep on the verse, then ranged to the upper octaves on the musical scale as she belted out the chorus. Except for that day, except for that week. If she was honest with herself, her energy and sound had started to flag 6 months previous, and had only gotten worse as the glue that held her life together dissolved. She tried to warm up her vocals in the car on the way over to the recording studio, but she sounded flat, out of tune, like a bullfrog. Ah-ee-ah-oh, croak. She tried not to think about the driver, who was probably laughing to herself. She'd managed to wrap up her tour, and the few smaller, more intimate venue slots her manager had scheduled. She'd shown up with a smile at all the press interviews, the signings, and the extra promotion. That's what her fans loved about her, that she was always there, going above and beyond, posing for the 100th selfie with near hysterical fans, signing her name on all manner of things, from album covers to journals, to broken arm casts, to actual skin. The person wanted her signature as a tattoo. Cece had promised to always remember where she came from and how hard she'd worked to get where she was. Chart topper, media darling, and doing what she loved every day. At that moment, she stepped out of the black SUV, wearing a hat and sunglasses, her attempt at being incognito. The moment she stepped onto the sidewalk, the camera started flashing. Just as she expected, the shutters suddenly stopped. There was a pause, an intake of breath, as though everyone from the paparazzi to the fans who'd gotten wind of her visit to the recording studio that day gasped. Then the frenzy erupted as she scurried into the studio amidst shouts, questions, and a few lamenting wails. When the door shut securely behind her, she waited for it to repeat, minus the flashing of cameras. It was the first time she'd been in public since that fateful day. Cece's team and entourage held their collective breath. As she took off her sunglasses and hat, her manager's mouth fell open. The eyes of the girls who styled her for camera-ready perfection bulged. A woman who'd only recently joined the team studied her planner as if it contained an answer to the question everyone was too shocked to ask. Her vocal coach pressed his lips together. The music studio, a place created for sound, was absolutely silent. "You ready, Cece?" the studio engineer asked. Her eyes drifted over everyone in the room, but no one else said a word. No condolences, no inquiries if she was all right, no question about why and where her second most valuable asset was gone. She wasn't ready, but she stepped into the vocal booth anyway. Cece once told herself that whether she had one person in a signing line or 1,000, each one of them was important and worthy of her time. She'd vowed that no matter how famous or popular or in demand she got, it was always about the fans. The faithful people who bought her albums, attended her concerts, and sang along with every song. In fact, the attention, the cheering, and the voices rising up in the arena were what fueled her. She'd get off stage, buzzing with energy that lasted until the last fan left the venue. She didn't have a family, so they became like one for her. Growing up, she didn't have much, but was told she had the voice of an angel and that her smile was golden. When she'd left Cecilia Stevens behind and became Cece Sparrow, she was born anew and pledged to honor her gifts. She used them to entertain and bring joy to people's lives. They weren't hers to squander. For all that, she said a prayer of gratitude every day. That was what pushed her